Wacky Weligious news. Yes, on Wacky Weligious news we not afraid to pick up news that's 9 months old and pretend it's a 2014 retrospective. So did you spot the blasphemy in this Pakistan wedding? Was it the sexual tension graphically expressed during a religious ceremony, the insulting poking of the eye as if snubbing Allah, or the holding up of shoes viewed through the Islamic world as a covering for the lowest form of the human anatomy? Well, this wedding was shown on Pakistan Sejov, so let's go to rival Erit for the answer. Yes, that's right. Holding up a pair of shoes is not normally blasphemy, but it is blasphemy when the shoes are held up during the playing of a traditional wedding song about the wedding of Muhammad's daughter. You might just as well run up to the prophet, pull his beard and tweak him on the nose. Now to infidels. The idea that this is blasphemy may sound wacky, but what's even more wacky is that no one's really sure why the fake clip was blasphemous. Some thought the song itself was blasphemous, but as we've seen, RH went with the shoes. Convinced it was good for ratings, they piled on the charge that Geov are a bunch of blasphemers. Blasphemy. He said it again. But here's what really makes this a deserving item for Wacky Weligious news. By showing the offending clip in order to highlight the blasphemy, RH itself was accused of blasphemy. Get the feeling life is imitating art, or in this case, religion is imitating comedy. Right, we'll get the stage over. That's right. What makes a hilariously funny comedy sketch one year gets passed into actual religious law the next. Yes, it would be funny if it was so deadly serious. Every week there are news reports of people being arrested, shot, lynched or hacked to death in Pakistan because of some alleged blasphemy. According to Reuters, even showing evidence of blasphemy in a Pakistani court can be blasphemous. So this gives us here at Wacky Weligious News an idea. Instead of trying to abolish blasphemy laws, we say, make them stronger. If someone accuses his neighbor of blasphemy, he has to explain what the blasphemy was, just as Aritva did, and by repeating it he can be charged with blasphemy himself. The police officer who takes the accused to a public prosecutor has to explain the charges in detail, and that gets the police officer arrested for blasphemy. I wonder how long it would be before everyone's so afraid of committing blasphemy that blasphemy charges are no longer laid against anyone. What if they do say Jehovah? Now on to news of the apocalypse. Hey guys, a couple of days ago a sinkhole appeared close to an area where we live. And this isn't the first time we've heard about sinkholes. We've been hearing about them all across the world for the last few years. Oh, so these things have only been happening in the last few years. This video by the two preachers goes on to document several sinkholes claiming they are a sign of the end times. What else could be causing these miraculous signs of Jesus' second coming? So you've seen the videos. They re pretty crazy really. Over the last few years there's been a real acceleration of these sinkholes. I've never even heard of them when I grew up as a boy, but now they re just everywhere. Look, gay preachers, just because you only woke up to something happening last week when you watched a compilation YouTube video doesn't mean this phenomenon is new or that it's accelerating in frequency. We can see sinkholes that are thousands of years old, and we can read about sinkholes that happened 100 years ago. Scientific studies were done to explain why they happen. If you really think they are miraculous, why is it God chooses to make them only at old mining sites or in areas of limestone, where erosion causes underground caverns to be formed? Coincidence? And if you've noticed from those videos, you will see that a lot of these sinkholes are happening in urban areas. They are not happening in the countryside so much, but mainly in urban areas. And by pure coincidence, a lot of urban areas were built close to mining sites because miners needed somewhere to live. And as urban areas expand, a lot of them are spreading over abandoned mines. If we're seeing more videos of them on the news or on YouTube, it could be because more of them are happening, or it could be because there are more people with mobile phones to film them. What I mean is, could there be other perfectly natural explanations for the fact that more sinkhole videos are appearing on YouTube, other than the possibility that this is a sign of the coming of Jesus? You know, who's really heard of these things happening, 100 years ago. I've never heard really so much of this stuff happening, but it seems to be happening. Hello, gay preachers. I said, could there be other perfectly natural explanations? Heavy rain, erosion, etc. It seems to be happening across the world. Breaking news. Wacky Religious News has just learned that a heap of land has slid down a hillside in Italy. We can confidently say this has never happened before, ever, in the entire history of mankind. Hold on, we've just heard about another one. Oh, and apparently there was another one last week in Mexico. How come we've never heard about sliding land before? These landslides, as we'll call them, obviously started happening last week when we became aware of them. So the gay preachers are right. Jesus is coming. This has been Wacky Religious News.